when you got a 14-year-old kid laying on the floor, shot, and the blood is leaking out, and they asking you, why is they getting cold? And they holding on to your shirt and they squeezing on your arm and they asking you, can you call my mother and tell my mother to come here? I don't want to go. I don't want to die right now.
This isn't your usual funeral. In fact, there isn't even a body in the casket. The man on the mic is known as Beloved, and he's a violence interrupter for Operation SNUG. SNUG, the word guns spelled backwards, is a non-profit organization that works to reduce gun violence in Harlem. They're a team of 7 with deep roots in the neighborhood. They call themselves credible messengers. Most have been shot, been in gangs, or been to jail.
To be a credible messenger, you gotta be somebody that went through this before, because you really can't talk on it. Like, one of the kids came to me one time and was like, yo, I'm shot. Nah, I can never leave it alone, this and that. Well, I've been shot twice. I left it alone.
The 72-block area in central Harlem where SNUG works has long been a hotbed for violent crime. But even though murder rates have dropped over 50% in the last decade, many residents still don't feel safe in the streets.
You could be walking down the street, you 3 lanes, mind your business, then the next thing you know, you gotta, like, you hear pop, pop, pop. You don't know if it's fireworks or if it's a gun, so you have to duck. But it's no way to live. This ain't the Old West, this ain't the OK Corral. There has to be some kind of order.
Most residents have their own explanations for gun violence in the area.
What do people fight about? It's a lot of stuff. Drugs, gangs, people having sex with each other, girlfriends. Like, you know, it could be anything, you know. Stealing somebody's bike, beating up somebody's little brother, you know, losing a basketball game.
In this area, we have what we call a lot of youth crews from block to block. And there's a lot of conflict between them depending on where you live. A lot of the kids can't walk from one area to another area because of some conflict that nobody knows what it's even about other than geographical areas, you know.
One of SNUG's main approaches is to provide a safe space for Harlem youth to play basketball, watch movies, apply to jobs, or just hang out.
They're trying to give us stuff to do, like make a little, they had a martial arts tournament, stuff like that. Give us something to do instead of standing on the corner.
Another SNUG strategy is to walk around their target area at night when trouble is likely to arise.
When we out canvassing, we not just put our ears to the street, but we give awareness. So we let a lot of people who don't know about us and our location and where they can come and find us.
Because like I told people before,
yes,
it's not just SNUG, it's actually the crews that inform us where we can help them at.
That's right.
A key component of SNUG's work is what they call violence interruption. The 2 SNUG interrupters collaborate closely with Harlem Hospital, and they are called in anytime a gunshot victim is brought into the ER.
We like the model that SNUG provides us in terms of interrupting the violence. So many times when people are injured, their first thought is retaliation. Our interrupters try to get in between that thought process as soon as possible. I'm sure you're concerned to know about whether there's been a drop or a change in the number of wounds or injuries that have happened. We've seen fewer and fewer gunshot wounds or serious trauma come through the doors. So anecdotally, sure, we're able to say we think that this program works. And
each SNUG outreach worker counsels 15 to 20 high-risk youth.
Some of them remind me of me, so we may have a heart-to-heart depending on the situation of things. If they're leading down the same path that I was leading down, I give them the full gist of my whole story to where the wrong I did and the people that I followed.
Jamar spent 12 years in prison, starting at the age of 14. To illustrate his personal story, he shows the young people he works with his 2 IDs, a jail ID and a driver's license.
One, I can never forget both of them because they're IDs, and one of them is just a felony on the ID. It shows me my past or the mistakes I made, also that I calmed because I finished the time. And my driver's license is something I never had, and I'm a citizen now.
In just a year and a half on the job, SNUG has made great strides toward reducing gun violence in central Harlem. And while the problem is much larger than the small team can handle on its own, each life saved reaffirms SNUG's impact on the community. Symbolic events like this mock funeral raise awareness about gun violence and provide victims' families with a space to share the impact of their loss with the community.
Remembrance of a young person that you knew that was gunned down by gun violence. This is symbolizing that person on the count of 3.
My man.
Take it in.
3. Good night, y'all. We love y'all. Harlem SNUG.